Sex offenders can live anywhere, in your neighborhood, near your school, even right next door. I'm Carrie Hall. Coming up next, I'll let you know how you can protect your kids from a potential predator.
While protesters in Florida are fighting for Terri Schiavo's life outside, her father says she is losing the battle inside. The latest is next.
With the recent Terri Schiavo case, questions are being raised about how to plan for your future. I'm Marla Arabian. We'll take a look at that coming up next.
Now live from Sioux City, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5.
A convicted sex offender has been charged with killing a 10-year-old Iowa girl. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5. I'm Larry Wentz.
And I'm Kit Werby. First-degree murder and kidnapping charges were filed against a Johnson County man. 37-year-old Roger Bentley was arrested last Friday after Jet Set Gage disappeared from her Cedar Rapids home. In tonight's top story, Bentley made a video appearance today from the Johnson County Jail. He's being held on $1 million bail for each count. Police spent several hours looking for him last week. They finally found him and the girl's body in an abandoned mobile home. Investigators say there was evidence the girl was sexually abused. Bentley was considered a friend of the girl's family, but her mother says she didn't know he was a registered sex offender. The case is causing parents to sit up and take notice of the people around their children. Channel 9 Eyewitness News reporter Carrie Hall is live in the newsroom to tell you what you can do to make sure your child is safe. Carrie?
Kit, according to Iowa law, sex offenders can live anywhere, near schools, parks, and in your neighborhood. But you do have the power to find out how close they really are. Learning if there's a sex offender living near you takes hardly any time at all.
They're required to notify us within 5 days of any move that they do make.
And all those names and addresses are listed online. Law enforcement officers from Plymouth County even go the extra mile to make sure that information is correct.
What we've tried to do is we've had deputies go out and physically verify that the registrants are living where they tell us that they're living.
And if an offender does make a move, people are notified.
We're allowed to do it by law, and it's kind of been our philosophy that the more information out there, the better.
But once it's out there, it's up to you to get your hands on it.
I have gone to it before. I guess I have 4 children, and I thought it was something of importance to me to see if there was anybody in this area.
I have heard about it. I don't know a lot about it. I'm interested in learning more about it.
Sometimes what you don't know can hurt you. Although Sherry hasn't checked herself, she gave us her address. We found a registered sex offender is listed as living just 4 blocks from her house.
I think it would make you more aware of where you're going to let your kids go and where they're allowed to play.
But regardless of the outcome, it may be worth finding out.
There wasn't anybody in my neighborhood, so that just made me feel safer, and mostly just for peace of mind.
If you do find an offender living in your neighborhood, they are protected by law, so you can't harass them. Tonight at 6, I'll have some tips for what you can do about it. Kit?
All right, thank you, Carrie. Now, you can find links to sex offender registries for Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota on our website at kcautv.com.
Meanwhile, the death of Jet Set Gage has lawmakers thinking about 2 specific things. The first is setting new limits on how to close registered sex offenders or how close they can live rather to schools. The second is reinstating the death penalty in Iowa, although that debate's not likely to go very far this session. Channel 9 Eyewitness News listens to you. Do you think the death penalty should be reinstated in Iowa? Give us a call at 277-4900. Let us know what you think. Or you can send us an email at news@kcautv.com. We'll share some of your responses tonight at 10 o'clock.
Well, it's been 11 days since Terri Schiavo's feeding tube has been removed, and tonight her father says her life is nearing the bitter end. Bob Schindler says his daughter is extremely weak and emaciated. During his visit today, Schindler says she's still responding to family and has what he calls an incredible strength to live.
I plead again that the powers to be, don't give up on her. We haven't given up on her, and she hasn't given up on us.
Her family has exhausted every legal avenue, and there's nothing more they can do. It appears their fight will last past her death. They want to give her a Catholic funeral and have her buried in Florida, but her husband Michael intends to have her cremated and returned to Pennsylvania. A judge has already ruled against Schiavo's parents.
With all the attention surrounding Schiavo's case, folks may start to question what they want should they ever be in that situation. Channel 9 Eyewitness News reporter Marla Arabian is here to tell you about some people who are asking those tough questions. Marla?
Larry, it seems as though as tough as these questions are, they may be getting easier to ask. Folks are making family decisions for what they would want in a similar situation. University of South Dakota law professor Michael Myers recently offered a forum discussing the Terri Schiavo case. He questioned folks on where they stand on the issue and also pointed to the need to prepare, while you are healthy, documents that would give specific instructions to your own wish for your health care if you should become terminally ill. He hopes by raising ethical questions and debate over the case that folks will take the time to get their wishes in writing. Several folks I talked to said that while they're with their family over the weekend, they shared their feelings.
We just kind of told each other what we wanted to do just in case something were to ever happen, and be more open about it and talk about their feelings on what they want for when they die, because otherwise it becomes somebody else's decision.
Folks also said that while it may not be something you want to bring up, you never know if you may someday need to honor their wishes. Larry.
All right, thank you very much, Marla.
For the second time in a matter of months, a killer quake has rocked Southeast Asia. An earthquake measuring at least 8.7 on the Richter scale prompted a tsunami warning and had folks in Indonesia moving for higher ground. As of now, fears of a killer wave has been eased, but now word of the death toll is coming out. So far, about 300 people have been killed. Authorities say right now people are worried about the aftershocks.
Folks in the tri-state area are getting put to the test this week. It is the start of Severe Weather Awareness Week. This storm cell that passed over South Sioux City last summer is a good reminder to take a good look at your safety plans. Throughout the week, cities in Nebraska and Iowa will be sounding sirens and holding mock drills. All schools, families, and businesses are being encouraged to map out an emergency plan before something like this hits your house. Iowa farmers are bracing themselves for a wet spring. Experts say that soil moisture is already high. It's created a reserve for plants, but that high moisture can cause a delay in planting if it starts raining a lot. Right now in northwest Iowa, one of the wettest parts of the state because of heavy rain last fall. Experts are taking a wait-and-see approach because April is always too tough to predict.
And no one knows that better than Chief Meteorologist Gary Shore. Isn't that right, Gary? Workers at Isulian Dam are getting ready for barge traffic. Despite record low water on the Missouri River, the Army Corps of Engineers has increased its output from Gavin's Point Dam near Yankton, South Dakota. The Corps says the higher water level should work its way down to St. Louis by April 1st when the navigation season opens. The Corps will take a look at the water levels again this summer to decide if the navigation season needs to be shortened.
There's good news and bad news when it comes to graduation rates in Iowa. The Hawkeye State near the top when it comes to high school graduates. Numbers from the latest U.S. Census show that nearly 90% of people older than 25 in Iowa graduated from high school. And when it comes to a college degree, only 24% of Iowans have at least a bachelor's degree. That makes Iowa last in the Midwest. Experts say it shows Iowa has a high number of jobs that don't require a college degree. It could also explain why salaries in the Hawkeye State are relatively low.
Students at Isulian College prove they're at the head of the class. That's just one story our reporters found going city by city.
Some students at Northwestern College in Orange City are making the grade. Sociology seniors scored in the 95th percentile on the Educational Testing Service exam last December. The test is given to sociology students across the U.S. and Canada. The recent scores are the highest they have been in 5 years. Carrie Hall, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Some extra homework helpers are on their way to the South Sioux City Library. The Nebraska Library Commission just gave the library more than $8,000 in grants to update its technology. The money will buy 3 new computers and reference materials to help students with homework assignments. Marla Raby, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
US 75 and Highway 60 are getting a facelift near Lamars, Iowa. Starting today, workers are grading and paving the Lamars bypass. Drivers will have to detour onto Plymouth County Road C12. The bypass should be finished by November 18th. Joy Larson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Tonight's tribute to the troops honors a soldier from Nebraska and an Iowa Marine.
Lance Corporal Lane Grease is from Ottawa, Iowa. Now, he spent 8 months in Iraq before being wounded in an attack on Fallujah. His parents are Roger and Dawn, and his proud grandmother, Sue, sent in his picture.
Our next salute goes out to Army Major Kevin Lindsay. He lives in Lincoln, but his parents, Janet and Marvin, are from Washita, Iowa. Kevin is stationed in Afghanistan with Task Force Victory. He is currently serving in